Boy, there's so much stuff that you talk about. People don't understand that you have to love country over self to come and criticize a brutal government. The PLP government has been brutal to Abaco so far that only them ones that went and campaigned for John Pinder could brag about the Progressive Liberal Party. They got all the dumb contract, millions and millions of dollars to clean up the dump. I remember when they thought it was taboo to go on the dump. The Black brothers was cleaning the dump for decades. But once the white brothers found out there was money in the dump, they gone to the black government and moved the black brother on the side. The white boys even got the dump. Got it in Hopetown, take it from the black. Got it in Mars Harbor, took it from the blacks. Got it in Treasure Key, take it from the blacks. Got it in the Green Turtle Key, they take the dump from the black, the white, and the black in Green Turtle Key. That means switching hands throughout the FNM and the PLP. The white boys got it now. We can't even get a dump contract under the PLP 2023. While Chester Cooper, with the educated self, they're bragging about Hubert Ingram and the white boys dock because Hubert didn't put anything in there for Chester Cooper, nor the black majority. Hubert Ingram put in there for the whites himself and the white elites. But Chester Cooper have a chance to redeem himself, but he's so dumb to the fact. Got John up and down carrying his knapsack all over the world. But when they come back to the Bahamas, they ain't bringing nothing. They just going and partying and bragging but garbage. I got an idea for you, Chester Cooper. Sends you the brainy of all the Smurfs. They call you brainy. PLP like you because whatever you brought from there, FNM, you're trying to distribute it amongst the die-hard PLP. There's a dock in Mars Harbor, Chester Cooper, that y'all didn't earmark $1. Wow. Y'all didn't earmark $1 for the dock in Mars Harbor. But Chester Cooper, them white boys that own the Guardian and the Tribune, they got them on the front page grinning like a chessy cat because he thinks the dock in Nassau's the best thing happened since Aunt Jemima pancake. But Chester Cooper, don't brag about that. That's an FNM Hubert deal. Come to Abaco, Chester Cooper, and brag about putting something on the dock, on the port in Mars Harbor. And while you're at it, Minister of Tourism, it's an international disgrace, Chester Cooper, that you and John Pinder collectively ain't got the brains of the brainy of the Smurfs to come and remove all these boats, sunken boats, that has become an eyesore to not only Abaconians, but also the tourists that visit. They are having discussion on why the government of the Bahamas haven't removed all these boats off Front Street, Mars Harbor. Then Chester Cooper, you and John Pinder sit at the table of knowledge because the tourists are now having the discussion. Why is there so many speed bumps on the streets of Mars Harbor? The tourists is complaining. We had a meeting, the Mars Harbor Township had a meeting with John Pinder since November to remove the speed bumps because the EMS is complaining, the ambulance drivers is complaining, the firemen are complaining, the taxi is complaining. We got 10 5 people in our car, and we're going bippity, bippity, bippity bump over these stupid speed bumps in Marsh Harbor. John Pinder, Chester Cooper, that in charge of tourism. The tourist is complaining now. The tourist is complaining about the boats sunk in Marsh Harbor. But 64 million has been earmarked for consultant fee. Maybe these tourists could tap into that 64 million indirectly and otherwise, and they could get the money from the government through their consultant fee charges, and the tourists will put some of the money back into removing the boats that are sunk on Front Street, Marsh Harbor. Maybe 64 million of that consultant fee. The tourists will see that there is a need for dock in Marsh Harbor, for Customs, Immigration, and the Port Department to come with the elements. Do you know what it is to come to work for over 2 weeks with thunderous rain, lightning, and you can't even use a bathroom on a port that generated over 160 million annually? And the government, the PLP government, didn't earmark one brass copper for the dock, but they earmarked 64 million for people to steal from the government overseas at consultant fee. Boy, what a bunch of brains we have in the Progressive Liberal Party, that a business, a dock that generated 160 million, not one brass, copper, cispin, or nothing has been earmarked 4 years in. But they could earmark 64 whopping $1 million for consultant fee for white people that are not even from the Bahamas, that don't even know the Bahamas, that the Progressive Liberal Party gonna pay some foreign white firm 64 whopping $1 million to tell the black brothers how to run the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Like, wow, what a bunch of brilliancy we have in the Progressive Liberal Party. But this one is for Chester Cooper. Don't brag about that cruise port that Hubert Ingram built for white people and himself. You have an opportunity to brag about what part the Progressive Liberal Party have started and rebuild. Stop being black dummies. Act like y'all got some black intelligence and stop bragging about the white port in Nassau that Hubert built for the white boys. Ask which port y'all could build for the Bahamas. And you ain't need no partnership. The money is made in Abaco. Come and rebuild the port in Marsh Harbor, Chester Cooper. You and John Pilner with the red hair. Coik with the rasta hair. We are being destroyed because Abaconians there went and vote PLP for John Pinder and Coik Cornish to speak on behalf of Abaco. We are in hell for the next 4 years because they're clueless. Them and Chester Cooper flying all over the world, talking fool, and nothing is happening. But 64 million gonna go to the country. 64 million for consultant fee and not 1 million for the Port Department, where our frontline workers today, 4 years later, don't even have a bathroom, can't move, sink boats off Front Street, Marsh Harbor. After 2 hurricanes, PLP nor F&M has done one thing. So y'all F&M don't even start to celebrate because they talking about the PLP. Y'all was a bunch of dumb conks also that did nothing for Abaco. Only Darren Henfield, Billy Lill, reservation down there in Great Sistine. Kai Case.